So today we have exercise number 12. We will explain orthographic multi-view drawing. For this exercise, you need to have your module completed, okay? So you can use it to learn how to draw this type of drawing, okay? Now, normally in design, in the future, these type of drawings you will use a lot. Like almost any design will have an orthographic multi-view drawing. But in the future, before you actually make the module, first you have the drawing and then you make your module based on the drawing. In our exercise, because we are still learning, we made the module and then we will do the exercise so that you learn how to actually do it and to have an object to look at. But in the future, it's going to be the opposite way. First you have a drawing, then you build the model according to the drawing, okay? Just so you are clear about it. But this type of drawing you will use a lot in the future. So pay attention to how to draw. So, now, what is an orthographic multi-view drawing? It is a type of drawing in which you present a 3D object. This is a three-dimensional object. You present it by using several views. So, now, if this was, for example, an object that you designed, okay? Now, if you look at it from each view, it will look different. So if you look at it from here, it will have a particular way, the way it looks. If you rotate it from here, it has some details that we didn't see from here. If you rotate it from here, we see new things. If you look at it from here, we see details that we don't see if we look at it from here. So, from each side, we can see details that if we just look from one direction, we cannot see. So, when you design something in the future, like a new design, you need to represent your design from all the views. So, if you take this object and you draw it, let's say in perspective, you will have from this view, for example, but we will not see what's happening here. Okay, you can draw it from another view. Okay, but still, there is many views that we haven't seen, okay? So, the orthographic multi-view drawing shows an object from all its views. So each view we draw separately. This view we draw separately from here, from here, from here, from here, from here. Each view will be drawn separately, okay? And for this type of drawing, we need accurate measurements. We have measurements here. Without measurements, we cannot draw this type of drawing. And we need something called scale. So the measurements, we will explain what these are. So the measurements are, well, you need to be clear if you design something, each piece, what is its measurement going to be? So this is here a 15 centimeter cube, okay? This must be clear, okay? Whether you have the object or whether you are drawing and then building the object. Because this drawing, the orthographic multi-view drawing, is used to build something. So I draw this object as orthographic multi-view. I need to have the measurement. So I need to know this cube, how much is it? 15, 10, 5, how many centimeter, okay? So that I know later how to build it. So measurements must be clear. We need to have accurate measurements. And we need to have scale. Okay, we will explain scale in a minute. Okay, what is that? After I finish. The orthographic multi-view drawing is one of the technical drawings. So, I already explained it. So, technical drawings, when we say technical, it means accuracy. We need to have measurements, we need to have scale in any technical drawing. Technical drawings are used for building things. So, I have a drawing, when I look at it, I need to understand the design, and then when I build it, I need to build it according to the drawing, okay? So, now there are certain rules that you need to follow, a lot of rules actually, for this kind of drawing, and I will today explain the most important ones, and you need to be very careful that you apply the rules accurately, because in any technical drawing, if you make mistakes with the rules, it can become very confusing, okay? So this drawing follows a lot of rules that you need to pay attention. Now, before I start, so measurements, scale. Now measurements for this module, we already know that we have three types of cubes. We have a 15 centimeter, 10 centimeter cubes, and 5 centimeter cube, okay? So these are the types that we have. So the measurements, we already know. But what about scale? So the scale is used in any technical drawing, any drawing that you need to draw accurately an object that you need to build after, okay? Scale means what? Well, this object, for example, have a particular size when you look at it now. This is 15, 10, 5 centimeter. Okay, great. But if I want to draw this object on my paper, which is a small A3 size paper, and I want to draw it, the same it is here. It's going to be too big. Now, for the orthographic multi-view drawing, I need to draw each view. I need to draw it. So this view, I need to draw this view from here, from here, from here. So this small paper, the A3 size, will not fit this model. So this model is too big. So we need to scale it down. So the scale can either make something look smaller or bigger, but according to a specific scale. So for example, if I want to draw this object scale 1 to 1, it means that I'm drawing the actual size. So 15 centimeter will become 15 on the paper, 10 will become 10, 5 will become 5, okay? But let's say if I want to use scale 1 to 2, so if this object too big, I need to scale it down. So 1 to 2 means 1 over 2. It means that each measurement is going to be divided by 2. So 15, for example, divided by 2 become 7.5 centimeter on my paper. So the 15 cube become 7.5. Okay, the 10, how much it will become? 5 centimeter. The 5 centimeter, 2. Okay? So, these measurements will be the ones on the paper if my scale is 1 to 2. Now, if I have a scale 1 to 5, this means it will be even smaller. Okay? So, for example, sometimes I need the scale to be really, sometimes you see scale 1 to 100, 1 to 1000. Now, if you imagine if you are drawing a very large object, like a building, or let's say you're drawing the entire Yarmouk University, you cannot put all this big object in a small paper. You need the scale to be very high, this number, okay? So this is why scale is used, to scale down, or sometimes to scale up. So sometimes when you have a very small object, you make it bigger, okay? Because it's very hard to see, for example. So scaling down, scaling up. Let's say if we have 1 to 5 scale, which means 1 over 5, which means each of these measurements will be divided by 5. So 15 divided by 5, what it will become? 3. 3 on the paper. 10 divided by 5, 2. 5 divided by 5. Okay? So now, if we have a scale 1 to 5, these are the measurements of the cubes that should be on the paper. Okay? And continue. Okay, so each time I increase this number, it will become smaller and smaller and smaller, the size of the object. If I put a number like this, so this is 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 5, you can have 1 to 10, 1 to 20, and so on. If I put, for example, 2 to 1, look, this is 1 to 2, this is 2 to 1. This means for example, cube will be twice the size, so I'm making it bigger. So 15 times 2, it will become 30. 10 times 2 become 25 times 2 become 10. So we are making it larger now, okay? So if the number is here at the front getting bigger, this will increase the scale. So now, for our object that we will draw, this model, we will use scale 1 to 5 because we have many views that we need to draw. We have many views, so we have a small paper, we need to fit them all. And 1 to 5 is suitable for this model, okay? Now, to start drawing the views, there is certain things you need to be careful about. First of all, you are drawing each view as if you are looking at it parallel to it. So for example, if I want to draw this view from here, it is like I'm looking at it parallel. This is not a perspective. You're looking at it parallel, and you're drawing only the faces that facing you. Like for example, if you look at it from here, you will see this face, you will see this face here, this one, this one here you will see, but you will not draw the faces that are not parallel to your view. Like for example, you will not see this face, or this, or this, or here, okay? You will only draw what is exactly parallel to your view. If you are drawing from here, let's say, from this view, you will see this face, this, nothing else. So you will not see these faces here if you draw from here, okay? You will not see these faces. You will not see anything, okay? You will just draw flat what is in front of you. Now, we will draw this object today, so you will see how it works. There is also another rule, that is the rotation rule. So, you cannot draw, let's say, I want to draw this face, let's draw it here, then I will draw this face, let's draw it here, and then here. You cannot draw in this way. You need to follow the rotation rule. So there is two types of rotation, first angle, third angle. Now, in more detail later in the future we will deal with it, but for your information we are dealing now with the third angle rotation. It's the easiest and most clear to understand. So what is the third angle rotation? It means, first I need to select a front view. The first thing you do is select the front view in any object you want to draw. So is this the front view, for example, or is this, any view can be the front view. Let's say if you select this to be the front view, okay? This is the front view. So I will draw this object from here as a front view. Then where should I draw the other views? So if I draw this object here as a front view, this view from here will be the top view. This view from here will be the bottom view. We have two side views and we have a back view. So 6 views that we need to draw to completely draw this object. Okay, this is the front here. You need to imagine you're holding here a pivot point. Okay, so this is here the front. The top view, which is from here, where should we draw it? And how should it be rotated? Well, if the front is here, the top view, which will be rotated like this, needs to be exactly above the front view, aligned, all the lines need to be aligned. You will see when I draw how it works. Now pay just attention to the rotation. So this will be the top. Then again, the front, the bottom view will be underneath and rotated like this. You cannot draw it, rotate it in a different way. So if you choose this as the front, the bottom will be like this, the top will be like this. Now, the side views, we have one side view from here, one side view from here. You cannot draw this side over there on the third angle rotation. So this side must be here, this side must be here. So if we rotate it, this side will be drawn from here. This is again the front, this side from here. Then the back view, from the back, another rotation, and it will be placed here. It has a very specific location. Each view has a location. So let's go back to the front. This is the front. So this side will be here. This side from here will be here. The back will be here. Again, let's go back. The top, which is from here, will be above. Okay? This is the front. And the bottom will be rotated like this. This rotation, if you make a mistake, like you put one view in a different location, it will cause a confusion. So anyone looking at your drawing will not understand how this object looks like. Okay? It's very important to have it correct. Now, let us start drawing, and I will explain on the way a few other things that are important. Now, sorry, before we start, now, I said that any view can be a front view. So you can choose this as the front, you can choose this as the front, or this as the front, any view. But what is the problem sometimes? Now, if I choose, let's say, we choose this as the front, we saw everything works well. If I choose this as the front, there is no problem. Then, how will the rotation happen? This is the front now. The top will be rotated like this. The front, the bottom will be rotated like this, okay? There is no problem. Now, there is a problem here that if your object is very long, you see, for example, it has length here, so very high. So when we rotate it from the top, from the bottom, so you will have a very long object on the paper. Maybe you will not have space. So if your model is very high, it's not a good idea to choose the view where after the rotations, it will create long views on the paper. Otherwise, there is no problem. So if this is the front, if I have space, I can draw this as the top, this as the bottom. Then the side views will be what? This side view here, this side view here, the back view will be this from here, okay? So any view you choose, the rotation will be based on this view. So if this is the front, you need to be careful, the rotation. If this is the front, the rotations will be different. But in all cases, we draw all the views. And in the end, whichever front view you choose, in the end we will have 6 drawings, and they will show the object fully the way it is. Okay, now let us start drawing and see what we have on the actual object. So which one should we choose as the front? We always start with this question. Which is the front view? Which should be suitable? Okay. This one or this one, for example, here, or this. Let's choose this one. So the first view that I will draw is this view. Okay. So what do we have here? We have, okay, we need to draw scale 1 to 5. This means what? The big cube will become what on your paper? 3, this one 2, this one 1 centimeter. Okay. Now on the board, I will not pay attention to the scale because I'm not using a ruler. Okay. But on your paper, it needs to be exact. So from this view, we have 15 centimeter cube. So it will be 3 by 3 by 3 centimeter. Okay. So let's say I will draw a cube here. What am I drawing? This face, okay? This is the one facing me. So this is the face I'm drawing. This should be 3 by 3 centimeter on the paper. Now, what do we have? Do we have something next to it? No. Do we have from here? Yes. We can see this face here. This is a 10 centimeter cube, and it's exactly located next to it. It's not up, it's not down, so on the same line, and it will be 2 centimeters. We are only drawing the faces that facing us. It doesn't. We don't see any depth. What is depth? For example, what is a little bit forward? What goes a little bit back? We don't see it on this drawing. Okay? We just draw flat of what we see. What do we have on top here? A small cube. And this face here we will also see. So 2 faces of 2 small cubes, which are 1 centimeter. Again, okay? This is what it will look like. So we don't see which is at the back, which is at the front. We just draw the view. We will understand the depth by the other views, okay? So each view tells us some information. Now we have this cube here on top also, and this is a 10 by 10 centimeter, which is going to be 2 on the paper. And we have this face and this face that we can see from this view, okay? And these two are located on top here. So, this will be the front view of our object, okay? Now, we need to draw the rest of the views. We need to draw the top, the bottom, the two side views, and the back. So, everything needs to be aligned perfectly. Aligned, you need to take lines so that so that you don't make mistake with the placement, because you cannot place a view a little bit up, a little bit down. All the elements needs to be aligned perfectly. From each major detail, in our case, the cubes, we will take lines, dotted lines, okay? And this will guide us where to place the other views. If we need any others, we will take them later on, okay? So these are the major ones. Now, okay, let's go back to this object. So this is our front view that we choose. If we want to draw this side view, how to rotate it? This side view must be here. So rotation, this is the view. Exactly like this needs to be drawn, okay? Exactly like this. Now, we have what? Again, we have the big cube. We will see this face of it, okay? And notice, so, from the front, we see this cube, this face, from the front view. From the side, we see now this face, okay? And look, it's perfectly aligned. It shouldn't go up or down. It should be perfectly aligned, the object. Now, what do we have on top? We have the 10 centimeter cube, which is also aligned, okay, with this, because it's the same object, it's just rotated, okay? And these two here will also be visible from this side, but now we see this face and this face. So, can we see anything else from this view? No. We don't see any other faces, we don't draw. Now this is a very easy object in terms of we have only vertical and horizontal lines. In the future you will have angles and rounded faces and a lot of detail that if you draw a real object, I mean. But now we need to understand what the intention of this exercise, to understand the rules, how to draw such a drawing. So we have a very simple object for this, and the rotations and all of these. So this is the front, will be the side. For example, you can name it side view, side A or side B, okay, it doesn't matter. It's one of the side views. So the front again, rotation this side, now rotation this side. This side view should be here. So what do we see here? Again, we have our big cube. We see our big cube from here, but what do we see, this big cube? We see part of it. Okay, so this part, so the other part will be covered by this. Okay. This is, in any case, the big cube. Now we have here the 10 centimeter cube, which will be located. This is this cube, okay? 10 centimeter cube. Then what do we have? These two views. We can see it from here, and they will be located here. Okay? Notice. Okay? So from here, we see part of this cube, and we see this part, and we see this face, we see this face, and we see this face. Okay? And we have it here. Now we have this face to draw, this and this also. Where is this located? This is this cube located here. Okay? But we see this face. Now these two on top. So this is the other side view B. Okay? Again, so this is here the view that we draw from here. This was our front view. This was the other side view. Let's go back to the front now. Okay? Now we have the bottom view. Pivot point here, the bottom view. It will be like this from here. Be careful. You cannot rotate it. You cannot do anything else with it, okay? So, the bottom view will be drawn exactly in this fashion. So, we will see which faces, this and this only, okay? So, from the bottom view, we can see the big cube. We see the big cube, and we see this cube, which is the 10 centimeter cube. If you look at it carefully, can we see any other faces facing us? No. Then this is the bottom view. So it's this object rotated like this. This is the bottom, okay? Bottom view. Now, this is the bottom. Front, top. The top view, okay? So the top view, if you look at it, you can see a lot of depth, but what we are concerned with, to draw the faces that are facing us only, okay? And we have these alignments. Now we have the big cube. Again, we have our big cube. Oh, sorry. From here, see? We need to take this up. These lines, the construction lines with the red here, help us so we can align the object, as I said, and also for us not to make any mistake, okay? So the big cube, which is here at the front, is now rotated like this, and we can see it partially from the top, because this object covers it. Now this object, what is it? One of the, where is it located? The 10 by 10 centimeter cube here. And on top of it, we have these two faces that we can see, this face and this face. One located here, and one located here. And if you take from this line, so we have here a cube, if you take this line, it should be aligned with this line. Okay, so we need to have here, from this detail up a line, so that we draw it perfectly. What else do we have? From this view, we have here this face and these two faces that we need to do. Where is it located? So, you see this cube here? Up, 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 up. Where is it located? Up here, okay? And we have this face and this face located in this location. and this location. And if you notice, from these cubes here, because we are drawing the same cubes, if you take a line up, it should align with this line. This is the top view. Top view. Now, the back view. Where is the back view? Okay, so this is again, go back to the front view, the side view, this side view, the back view. The back view will be located here. Okay, so this is the back view. We have what? What can we see? Pay attention here, students. Don't talk. So, the same cube that we had here from the side, but we draw this face from the back, we will draw now this face, and all the faces that we see. So, a big cube, then we have the 10 centimeter cube here. How do we know the location? Now, it's very easy because it's a simple object, but it's actually this here. Okay, so from here you need to take a line and see that it aligns with this, or just measure it. Okay. Now, on top we have these two faces, these two cubes, this face and this face. What else do we have here? On top we have the 10 centimeter cube, which is aligned with this, and then these two cubes that were here are now these faces we are drawing. And this is the back view. Now, we completed the 6 views of the object. Now, as I said, in the future, if this is an object you designed, you will draw the 6 views, and then according, okay, you look at the scale, we have this scale 1 to 5, so this 3 centimeter in reality should be 15. So you know this cube is a 15 by 15 cube, you build it, then you know, okay, there is another cube 10 by 10 centimeter next to it, there are small cubes on top, and you build the object according what you see in the views. The depth you can see, for example here we don't see the depth, how far back is it? But when you look at the top, we can understand it's back. So every view gives us details about the model, okay, that we should make. Now, to draw this correctly, okay, there is other rules that you need to follow. For example, each view must be spaced equally. Like, do you see this space from here to here? It should be the same here. 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 You cannot put, for example, one view very close and another very far away. So these spaces need to be planned on the paper. Now, to do this correct, for example, to do this correctly, not to start with the front view, put it on the paper, and then draw the views and say, oh my God, I don't have space, for example, for the rest of the views. For this not to happen, before you start drawing the details, okay, you need to draw the overall box where the object is located. So the front view, for example, have this box here. From here to here. So this box, this main box, what is the height? What is the length? Okay? The side view, so it will be inside a box. The back view will be inside a box, okay? This view also will be inside a box. This view will be boxed. Okay? And all the views are inside a box. This main box you draw first. So it's like this, for example. We have the box here, then putting lines up, we have another box here, another box here, another box here, and another box here. with the measurements, the accurate measurements, okay? So this is what this drawing should look like in the beginning. And to make sure that all the spaces are equal, okay? After that, you will start drawing the details inside, okay? The details. So the box will help you to understand, okay, is the location on the paper correct? Because this space, this is up to you. I can put it 2, 3 centimeter, 5 centimeter distance, but all of them should be equal. So when we put it on the paper, maybe the paper not enough. So that's why you need to draw the box views. So from here to here, how much? So we have 3 plus 2 plus 1, 6 centimeter. 6 by 3, 5. So 5 centimeter, 6 centimeter box on the paper. Then this box, how much? This box, how much? Okay, and you draw the boxes. After that, you start drawing the details inside. Okay? So when you see that all of this fits nicely into the paper, there is enough white space, nothing is touching the border, nothing is coming close to the edges, then it is okay. Because we don't want anything touch the lines, the border lines, okay? We need to have sufficient space. So this needs planning. To plan, we need to use this technique. After that, as I said, you draw the details inside. Okay? Now, the next step is what? After we have the boxes done, after we have the details inside done, the next step is to draw the measurements. We need an orthographic drawing, must have the measurements on the drawing. So how to do that? Well, we need to put the measurements with measurement lines. Now, these dotted lines will help us to know where a measurement starts, where a measurement ends. And we will use the, for example, let's say I want to show what is it from here to here, the measurement. So, I will draw a line. A line that starts exactly from where to where I want to put the measurement. Then we will put triangle. The edge, the corner of the triangle must touch the line. Please understand, this is not a sketch. It must be very accurate. So this corner here must touch this line. This corner touch this line. Now exactly in the middle of this line, we will put the measurement. How much is it? The real measurement, not the scaled. You will not put, for example, 3 centimeter, 2 plus 1, 6. No, the real, always the real here. So 15, 25, 30. Okay, for example. This is very important in orthographic drawing. The real measurements are put, then you understand, okay, it's smaller on the paper, that's because we are using scale 1 to 5, okay? So 30 divided by 5, for example, 15. So, the next. Now, if I want to show another measurement, let's say, okay, this measurement from here to here and from here to here. You need, even though it's very simple object and the measurements are clear, for the practice, you need to put them on the paper. So, from here to here, what do we do? Line. Now notice, here we don't have enough space. We don't have enough space to draw the number like we did here. So there is two solutions for it. Either to put the number next to it, or to draw this line in this way. And put the number inside here, for example, okay? So, one coming from here, one coming from here, the edge is touching the red line, which is the dotted line, the construction line. Now, if I want to show, okay, from here to here, how much is it? We will draw another line here. And we will delete in the middle. So, for example, 10 plus 5, 15, for example, here, okay? Now, I want to show from here to here how much, okay? So from this line to this line. Pay attention because I will explain some more rules soon. It's not about only putting lines and putting measurements wherever you want, okay? Delete in the middle. So we have here 15, 25. And so on. Now, measurements, measurement lines, dimension lines, you can put in any view necessary. So for example, okay, from here I understand this, but what about from here to here? Now, from here to here, it's the same from here to here, from here to here. I can put from here to here, here the line, I can put it. Or I can put it up here. Please try to not overcrowd lines where you have the writing. So instead of putting here, from here to here, this object here, instead I can put it up here. Okay, so here we have the dotted lines. So we can put it here. It's the same. So you will choose the view where you can better put the lines. So where you don't have writing, where you don't have overcrowding. For example, if you don't have enough space here, it's too close to the border, maybe you can put it here or here, but here you have writing, so it's not a good option. So you need to choose the view where to put the measurement is the best option. So what is here the measurement? Okay, you put it. And then you look at each view, okay, what else is missing, okay, what can be put? This measurement, for example, this measurement, this is, for example, from here to here the same, we don't need to repeat it, okay? So you don't repeat measurements, you only put new information down. So this one here, not a good option, we said, and so on. Now, what you need to be careful about is that the measurement lines, they need to be drawn in a specific order. For example, if you start with a measurement line, that is, you're showing a certain measurement that is of this size. Then you have another measurement that is bigger. So you're showing certain measurements. Always, you need to start with the small, then go to the bigger and bigger. So, for example, this here is the small measurement, this is the bigger, and this is the biggest. I cannot do it in a different way. I cannot, for example, put big measurement here, small measurement here, like this. For example, big, then small, then another big one here, long one. We cannot do it in this way. This is no, okay? This is yes. So you start with the small, and then you go bigger and bigger and bigger. So you need to order them, okay? If you don't do that, points will be removed from your drawing, because all of these rules need to be applied. So if you make mistake with the rotation, it's a mistake, okay? This is an orthographic drawing, everything needs to be correct. If you make mistake with the placement of the measurement, if you make mistake with the, for example, the size of these spaces, again. Now, also the measurements have spaces. Like what is the space from here to here, and here to here, and so on, okay? What? This is free to choose. There is no specific rule that will tell you, okay, this must be a 1 centimeter or 2 centimeter or half centimeter. However, all of them must be the same. So for example, from this one to this one, from this one to this one, from this one to this, from here, all of them must be the same. So if I choose 1 centimeter, all must be at 1 centimeter distance from each other from the object. Not one placed here, the other, for example, at 1 centimeter, and then you place one really far away. Okay? This, no. Okay? All of them must be the same. Listen carefully, because each of these things not applied means you have a mistake on the drawing. Okay? So the spaces need to be the same, not only the major spaces of the different views, but also the measurement lines. And these triangles, do you see these triangles that I draw? Please, don't draw them as a sketch. So don't do something like this. Very fast, one small, one big, one. All of them must be the same size, very clean drawing, okay? Okay, now, there is another thing that you need to be careful about. The writing. The writing needs to be aligned. So side view, front view, side view, back view. If I take a line, okay, they need to be aligned perfectly. So these are also inside boxes, okay? They will start with boxes. So they need to be aligned. Not, for example, to have one down, one up. It must be under the object, under the view, and aligned perfectly, okay? And exactly in the middle of the view. So this, for example, if I take a line down, must be aligned with this object here, okay? If this is bigger, the writing, it's no problem, but they must be aligned in the best possible way. And the spaces between here and here, here and here, here and here, and here must be the same. So you cannot put one down more than the other. Okay? Everything needs to be perfectly aligned. The writing very clean. If you cannot have a good handwriting, use the rulers. Okay? In addition, this drawing is not complete until you put the box here with information. What information is needed? Now, in real orthographic multi-view drawings, there is a lot of information you need to put. In our case, we are just starting, and we have three main information that we need to put. Your name, okay, as a student. We have the scale. It's very important. We need to know how much you scaled it down on the drawing. Okay, scale 1 to 5. And units. What units you use? So, is this 30 centimeter or 30 millimeter or 30 meter? We don't know. Okay? So units, centimeter. Notice that I haven't written it down here. So you don't write, for example, here 30 centimeter, 5 centimeter, 25 centimeter. This no. Okay? It will cause overcrowding of the drawing. And if you have hundreds of measurements on a drawing, this will create confusion. So instead of put just a number, put here units, centimeter. So this information must be on the paper. Okay? Name, scale, units. It needs to be written very carefully. This, okay? So you have here the boxes. Anything you write must be very carefully done inside, okay, written inside. So if you have, for example, a cell, and I want to write my name, I cannot write it just like this. No, it must be carefully planned, okay? So, if you have a cell, so we need space from the top, from the bottom, from the side. Space, so we don't put the writing next to touch the border. And then you can either use capital letters, or you can, these are capital letters, or you can write it in a different way. But it must be aligned, it must be clean. So for example, if I have scale underneath, it must be aligned, okay, with this. I cannot put this one to start here, or this one. Everything must be perfectly aligned, so please be careful with the writing, okay? Now, these are the main rules for now that you need to follow in this drawing. I have here some examples. However, these are not your model. These use different measurements, okay? Different number of cubes, different measurements. So it is only about just to look at it, okay? Okay, here we explained it. So here the student, where is the front view? The student started here, the top, the bottom, the side, two side views, and the back view. So the order should be in this way, but the measurements will be different, number of cubes different, in your case, everything different. And as you can see here, the measurement, their order from the small to the large, the spaces, okay, are equally divided. So this is something that you need to do. Now they are not perfect. Each drawing, even though this has a full mark, it has small mistakes, small, very small. So if it has a very small somewhere mistake, I still put a good mark for it, but overall it's a very good drawing, okay? So pay attention that these are student works, they might have small mistakes on them, okay? And then we have other here drawings. This is just to give you an idea, orthographic drawings, how they are used. Like for example, if you were the designer of this camera, before it's actually made, it needs to be drawn from all directions. And as you can see, this have a lot of detail, it has radiuses, it have much more difficult than what we have here. And this is a real object, okay? Real objects will have details. So you can see a few of them over there. Examples. This is just an example, okay, of how it's used in the real life. So, this is it, I guess for now. Any questions about that? Let me close the video here.